Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Belgian bishops raided. Belgian authorities have raided the offices of 3 bishops, executing their first sting operation since the summer of 2010 as part of their sexual abuse investigations. In what Belgian law enforcement is calling Operation Chalice, the administrative offices located in Hasselt, Mechelen, and Antwerp were searched for the files of specific cases handled in the 60s and 70s with the cooperation of clerical workers. The purpose of the investigation, according to an anonymous judicial official close to the case, is to expose church officials involved in keeping sex abuse covered up during the massive sex abuse scandal that took place in the country. You may remember the overzealous raid in this same investigation that took place in June of 2010 in Belgium, which Pope Benedict called, quote, deplorable for using power tools to break into the crypt of a dead bishop. Minnesota's church militant. The upcoming vote to solidify the definition of true marriage in Minnesota has the Twin Cities Archbishop calling all Catholics to battle stations and discouraging mutiny in the ranks. Bishop John Nienstedt is circulating a prayer that he wants said during Masses for the preservation of marriage between one man and one woman, and arranging for groups of priests and married couples to speak at archdiocesan high schools on the issue. He has also made a public warning to priests that dissenting from church teaching on this matter could result in the loss of faculties. The vote on whether or not to include the definition of true marriage in the state constitution is coming later this fall, and you can read more about the escalating conflict in Minnesota by clicking on the link right outside the screen. The fight against the gay agenda in the North Star State has even spread to school districts with Parents Against Propaganda. Homosexual activists in Minnesota are looking for a loophole in the law to indoctrinate the minds of the young, while parents are pleading with local government to protect their children. 6 students are suing to eliminate a law known as the neutrality policy in the Anoka-Hennepin School District north of the Twin Cities, which says that homosexuality is not a topic for the classroom. The Parents Action League, a group of concerned conservative Christians, are pushing for the law to remain as it is, asking that if any changes are made, they should be to educate children on the disorder of homosexuality, gay-related immune deficiency, or AIDS, and the success of ex-gay therapy. The law in question, the neutrality policy, specifically talks about how the mention of homosexuality in the classroom particularly interferes with the parental right to educate children in a way that is suitable to their station in life. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Biased banners. The city government in San Francisco is allegedly violating a city ordinance to promote an abortion activist agenda during the National Sanctity of Life Month. What is known as the Silver Ribbon Campaign to Trust Women is displaying 70 banners up and down Market Street in the city by the Bay that say things like, quote, U.S. out of my uterus, and San Francisco is pro-choice. Several pro-life advocates point out that city law regarding public street banners says they are only to be used for messages that are city-funded, city-sponsored, or that promote city events. And the Life Legal Defense Foundation is contemplating a lawsuit against the city. San Francisco is largely known for condoning homosexuality, so it should come as no surprise that the city would go out of its way to promote the evils of abortion as well. And finally, Ireland's Vatican Vendetta. The government of Ireland is being overwhelmingly criticized for cutting ties with the Vatican when it closed its embassy to the Holy See this past November. The Irish Examiner newspaper has cited the Freedom of Information Act in the Emerald Isle to obtain copies of the correspondence sent from Irish citizens to Minister Eamon Gilmore in the first 12 days following his decision for the embassy's closure. The findings are that 95 out of the 102 records released of emails and letters to Gilmore heavily criticize his decision regarding the Vatican. That's 93% of those who had something to say on the matter. One of the letters compared Gilmore to Oliver Cromwell, while another claimed the government was using the sexual abuse scandals as cover to wage a, quote, vendetta against the Catholic Church. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure to check out The Vortex, where Michael talks about the masculinity of sacrifice and the lack thereof in today's Catholic Church. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.